Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parrish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, go to Brock. You need a roof? Call Parrish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and On Fire Athletes platform powered by GameCoin. Okay, y'all, good morning. Hope everybody had an awesome Saturday. Your baseball Tigers, nice job. Bounce back. They painted themselves into a corner with the loss on Thursday. Bounce back with wins on Friday and Saturday behind Cade Anderson, Anthony Nianson, who were their usual dominant selves. Even on a day where Ianson didn't have his best stuff, it was still great to see him battle the way he did. Got you through 7 innings when he was at 45 pitches through 2 innings. And it looked like his day may be short and you may be relying on the bullpen, but a really nice job by by Anthony Ianson to buckle down, get some quick innings. He went, I got it right here. He's at 45 pitches through 2. I got a quick 1-2-3 inning in the third. He allowed the solo homer in the fourth, but other than that, it's pretty quick. 1-2-3 in the fifth. Faced one over the middle in the sixth, got the ground ball double play, and then 3 up, 3 down in the seventh. So he ended up getting you through 7, which was huge. Encouraged by Chase Shores. By the way, Hunt, hat tip, encourage you to do this if you're not reading it over at LouisianaSports.net. But Hunt does a feature after the baseball weekends called Around the Horn. And he put a lot of context around Anderson Ianson and Zach Cowan's struggles, by the way. He makes the argument very convincingly that it's not that Cowan is tipping pitches, it's just that he just hasn't been executing. For example, Henry Kazmar's triple in the 8th. I'm reading. This was from Thursday. Henry Kazmar's triple in the 8th was on a terrible hanging changeup above the belt. Same story with KJ Scobie's homer in the 9th. Jace Woda's triple that followed was on a 3-0 fastball that was up. All these pitches were very poor. That's true. I mean, a changeup at the belt is not Cowan's desired location. And if you're in a 3-0 count and you throw a fastball, they know what's coming. There's something to that. So anyway, I'd highly recommend you go check it out. But anyway, LSU wins. They lock up the 3 seed. So we also have up at LouisianaSports.net the full the path for here comes trouble. Hi. Go say good morning to the Dad Show. Oh, somebody finally woke up. Huh. Wait, let's put it back on. Hang on. Let's see. Who is that? Who is this? Who is this? Who's this?
Daddy.
Who is this?
Woo.
Jaboo. You want to say hi, Dad Show?
No.
Say hi, Dad Show.
Hi, Dad.
Okay, now you want to go? That light was bright. I'm sorry. Okay. His butt says sweet cheeks. You get gingerbread man, peppermints, and sweet cheeks. Anyway. All right. Let's say some good mornings here. Chef, good morning. Club, what up? Spurge, Kenneth, James, good morning, everybody. Mr. Fire D, who dat? Let's go, man. Casey, morning, Matt. This Jake Brown guy can play. You should check him out. Jake Brown got the start yesterday, went 3 for 5. He struck out his first 2 at-bats and still ended a triple short of the cycle. He went single homer double. Not bad, huh? Hey, Ben, good morning. Brendan, good morning, Scone. Got a 15-pound prime brisket on the smoker. Let's have a Sunday. Where's the invite, man? Actually, I take that back. I'd appreciate an invite, but not today. We've got St. Joseph's Academy graduation today. Very much looking forward to it. My niece is graduating. Then we'll have the party afterwards. So very, very a big graduation year. So you all met my niece Olivia. So Olivia graduated from St. Michael's. Y'all have met Sophia, who this week graduated from St. Jude. So she's off to St. Joe's Academy next year. And Reese is graduating from St. Joe's today. So that leaves Eli, who's finishing up his freshman year at Catholic this year. So Eli will be class of 25. Let's see, class of 28. So we'll get to. I'll get one more Calici graduation. Now my brother's got 4 children, and my sister's got 4, but my sister lives in Kansas, and my brother Brian, his family's moving from Lafayette to South Bend. He took a job with Notre Dame, so they're moving in a few weeks up to South Bend. So there'll be out-of-state graduations. Stat Dub, is Beth going to be here next season? So that's a fair question. I hate it, but it's a fair question. So softball lost to Southeastern yesterday. They lost on Friday in the 1-4 matchup, beat UConn in an elimination game, came back last night and lost to Southeastern 8-7. This is 2 times in 3 years now you've lost a home regional to an in-state opponent. ULL beat you 2 years ago, and now Southeastern beat you this year. And ULL 2 years ago, you were in the winner's bracket, and they came back and beat you twice on the last day. I think, Stat Dub, that with the 2 talented freshmen they have, that may be the case to keep her. But I think there's always this apprehension whenever you were not hired by the athletic director. And remember, Beth's been here 14 years. So Joe Oliva hired Beth. That was the whole thing whenever they hired Pat Murphy from Alabama. When Yvette Girard retired, he came and then like a day later went back to Alabama. And so they needed a coach, and Joe hired Beth from FIU. And she went to Oklahoma City in her first year in 12. And then they went back again in 14, 15, 16. Or I'm sorry, or 15, 16, 17. 15, 16, 17. So she's been 4 times, and it was 4 times in the first 5 or 6 seasons. But since 17, they haven't been back. And losing home regionals to in-state opponents 2 of the last 3 years it's not an acceptable result. Beth would tell you that. So I don't know what they're going to do. But it wouldn't surprise me if they did move on. If Scott decided to move on and hire a new coach, it wouldn't surprise me if he did. But I don't have the answer. I did, very candidly, I did start making some calls last night to kind of get the gauge and the temperature on that. And it feels kind of 50-50 based on what kind of some of the calls and texts I sent out last night. So I don't have a great feeling on it one way or the other. But it is a fair question to ask. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Mark, good morning from Las Vegas. Love your show. Who dat? Go Tigers. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for being there. Hey, Zachary, at this point, I don't think Tennessee will have a national seed. Agreed. They were outside looking in. I mean, they've lost 5 of their last 6 series, 4 of their last 5 series, something like that. Yeah. They're not going to be a national seed, they're not going to be a host site. Ryan Stadler, morning, Matt. I think everybody here in Arkansas last night at a get-together enjoyed my Tiger. There you go. Cody, morning, Matt. Does Scott move on from Tarina after the last disappointing postseason run? This fact she's number 1 recruiting class effective status. Cody, I think you're on it. I think the 2 freshmen in the recruiting class could be the thing that gives her another year. But it's someone that asked a bit ago. It's a fair question to ask. Morning, Matt, from South Carolina. The game was super fun on Friday. Is Chase Shore's 3rd best reliever on the team? So this is interesting. So I mentioned a bit ago Hunt's around the horn piece. Here you go. Here's what it writes about Shores and Newt. Shores is working. By the way, I don't know if you've noticed this, but he's right. Shores has been working the past couple outings exclusively from the stretch. So he's not going to the windup anymore. He's just going from the stretch, which cuts down on all the motion, and makes it a more compact delivery. So in his last 10 and a third innings, Shores has allowed 8 hits with 8 strikeouts and just 3 walks. So he's been much better. Newt got out of Connor Ware's mess on Thursday when he walked the bases loaded. Newt got out of it, allowing just the sac fly. On the season, Newt has 34 strikeouts, just 11 walks. And in that game, by the way, he retired 12 in a row before he ran out of gas. So I think Newt and Shores are your next 2 guys. The question is if you need a lefty. Is it Primo? Is it Ware? Is it Williams? The lack of a consistent left-handed bullpen arm might be the bigger question right now. Hey, Lance, if you rest Anderson 9s of Friday, who do you give the ball to? It probably knew exactly what you did. Well, I'd say exactly, but what you did on Thursday this week where they went Ware, Newt, Shores. But maybe it's Newt, Shores, Ware, whatever combination there. I think they're going to throw Anderson. I wouldn't, but I think they will. I think he'll throw Anderson. I think he'll keep Anderson, or Anderson, Ianson. He'll keep his weekend because it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think that's what they'll do. He'll give them their turn, and he probably just won't let them throw 100 pitches. I mean, he'll probably just shorten their outing to 75 pitches. Thomas, there you go, man. Chef Thomas, Brennan, thanks, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Keep Jake Brown in the lineup. Yeah. I think everybody's come around on that now. Hey, Bubba, good morning. Jeff, good morning. Glenn, good morning, Matt. Good luck to T-Bob. Are you still going to do whiskey and wine? Yeah, I haven't been asked that yet, Glenn. It's probably the thing I've been asked the most, even more so than who's going to replace T-Bob on OTB. I got asked about whiskey and wine. I don't know. I haven't decided yet about whiskey and wine. Casey, Randy, good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning. Ryan, get some clarity to people worried about LSU not being a top 8. Georgia last year finished 5th overall in the SEC. Number 8 RPI, 914 quad 1, 7th national seed. Who's worried about LSU? I'm sorry, who's worried about LSU not? Like, they've locked up a national seed completely at this point. Like, that's all over but the shout. Randy, is Jay going to throw Anderson? Okay, talked about that one already. Tournament gives a chance, though. It gives you that chance, Randy, if you keep advancing. At this point, you're not going to rely on a bunch of bullpen arms, right? We've talked about it all year. When you get to this point in the season, you shrink down your rotation to like 7 or 8 guys that can get you through a tournament. So, like, I don't really care if guys down the line are getting work at this point. You talk about that for next year, maybe, but right now it's about having the 7 or 8 guys you trust in the roles that they're going to compete for you. So, like, what I need more than guys in the bullpen getting work is the guys you're going to count on being rested and fresh for Regional Supers Omaha. Morning, Matt. 14th season, best showed has showed nothing to show with all the great teams she had. Nothing to show is just not fair. They've made the postseason every year. They've been to 4 Women's College World Series. She's the winningest coach in the history of the program. You can't say nothing to show for it. That is unfair to say. If your expectation is to win the national championship, she hasn't done that. That's fair. And I will tell you, obviously, it is not okay to lose home regionals to in-state schools ever. And they've done it twice in 3 years, which is why I think that the question about Beth's future is a fair one to ask. And I'm sure one that Scott Woodward is pondering today. Love the new format on account of the double bye. Treat it like another series, so we don't need to win. The flip side of it, Randy, is if you, without the double bye, like, for example, if you're not one of the top four and you need to win and it's single elimination, then you're like all in to win those games to advance because you need the wins. Hey, Kelly, good morning. Disappointing finish for sure. I mean, they got all the way up to number 2 in the country and they stumbled down the stretch and then lost a home regional. Like, I get it. That's not an acceptable result. I think Beth would tell you as much. Football, baseball, basketball, which has the most pointless postseason tournament game? I mean, none of them matter, but probably football. Because you can play a basketball or baseball tournament and there's not going to be hugely adverse effects to your team. Like, we've seen team lose. I mean, Georgia 2 years ago was the back-to-back defending national champion. They were undefeated, number 1 in the country. They lose the SEC championship game. They're out of the playoff. It's just every game in college football like that carries more gravity, especially with the possibility of injury and things like that. So, Brennan, I gladly smoke Scone and brisket and deliver it to Scone. Okay. Mark, let's see, Matt, do you have a favorite po' boy spot in New Orleans? I mean, there's obviously plenty of good ones. I'll throw the first one. A roast beef po' boy from Parasols is hard to beat. It's a staple for Condon there in the Irish Channel. Do that, go down to Saints games years ago, pop in there, when his grandma was still living in a shotgun house in the Channel, corner 9th and Chippewa. Go grab a roast beef po' boy Parasols. That's tough to beat. Hey, Jacob, good morning. My friend Michael J. was saying yesterday he could see Cooper Williams eventually being a starter at LSU. I sure am happy he flipped to LSU. Happy he isn't on that A&M team. Sure, I could see that. I think all those guys that are that talented, that's the expectation, is that they become starters. But like, I look at next year and you think, okay, well, you've got Kason Evans, Maverick Rizzi, Cooper Williams, William Schmidt. That's 4 right there. And you're going to go in the portal and get starting pitching. Like, you're not just going to rely on these guys hoping they take the next step. You're going to go get starters. I mean, just look at what you've done since Jay's been here. You went and got Skeens and Hurd for 23. You got Holman Jump for 24. And you got Ianson, Devin Sheeran, Zach Cowan, and you went and got all those guys that were starters for this year. Now, only Ianson ended up in the rotation, and Sheeran's back next year too. So, yeah, it'd be great. I'm sure he does think Cooper Williams can be a starter. Doesn't mean he's going to win a job. Georgia of 17-13 got a national seed. Rick, Magic TV guy, say Braswell made 7 pitching appearances. Yeah, he was a two-way guy as a freshman. But then he didn't pitch as a sophomore, and then he kind of started to see his some of his playing time dip too, as his bat started to dip. Then he transferred to LSU. But yeah, he was a two-way guy. Selflessly want to go to the finals so I can see 3 Tiger games. Hey, look, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you, Randy, because I would love to be able to do 3 more post-game shows. All the post-game shows I get to do for Locked On mean more content, more revenue. Yeah, so I'll be here. I'm here for it. Ashton, morning, Matt. Are they projected to be paired up with LSU's regional? And who might play in the Supers? Well, sure. I mean, for example, So I'm looking for it, but I know this week they had LSU as the number 2 national seed and the 1 seed in their regional, Miami the 2 seed in the regional, Southeastern the 3 seed, and Bryant the 4 seed. Sorry, I'm trying to find. Where is it? Sorry, I can't find it. I'm looking for their. I googled it and I don't see it on the home page. Anyway, I was going to look for who they had him paired with, and I can't find it. My apologies. But yes, they did have that this week. All right, please smash the like button if you would subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Tavern. Randy, I turned from a casual softball fan into a passionate fan come tournament time. Parkway. Well, the thing about it is who we're going to get to replace her. She's fired, which I say she should have been last year when they lost the same pitcher twice 2 days. Mark, Southern Miss has won 15 games in a row. Can they jump Coastal for the final regional host site? I don't know. I haven't watched a single game that Southern Miss has played all year, Mark. And I respect you asking, but I don't know. Let me give you. All right, hang on. I'll do this for you, Mark. Not that anybody else, honestly, watching cares, but I'll do it for you, Mark. Let me do a blind resume. All right, Coastal Carolina. Not blind. Let me look at resumes. Coastal Carolina is ranked. Their RPI is 11. Oh, geez, Mark, you're in trouble. 44-11, and they're 4-6 in quad 1. Southern Miss RPI is 21. They're 41-13. So Coastal's got a better record, a better RPI, and they're 7-4 in quad 1. I'm sorry, Southern Miss 7-4 in quad 1, where Coastal's 4-6. So that's your advantage. You get 3 more quad 1 wins. Their non-conference strength of schedule, however, is their non-conference strength of schedule is 14. Yours is 19, so it's comparable. Overall strength of schedule, you're 70, they're 71. It's very comparable. They're 10 spots higher than you in the RPI. I'd probably give it to Coastal. Randy, you want to see Sheeran in the tournament? Might. Probably won't, but could. Kevin, if you need someone to do whiskey and wine, let me know. Kevin, I appreciate the offer. Randy, Brazzy told Jay he'd pitch this year. Drunk Vigo, good morning. You had a breakfast po' boy. All right, let's see. Rex, good morning. Mark, will LSU host a regional? I think so, Mark. I think LSU's got it pretty sewn up here. Here you go, Tom.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
All right. Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, go to Brock and a roof called Parish. Let's see. Can't wait for us to see what our seed is. Hopefully it's high. Glad we won the series. Such sigh of relief. I mean, I think, remember, you still got to make it through conference tournaments. So there's always the possibility that there could be more movement. But at this point, LSU is solid. I mean, as the number 3 seed in the SEC in a league that might get 6 national seeds, you've locked up a national seed. Where you fall on the scale remains to be seen, but LSU will be a national seed. Jake Brown is a big league future in the outfield. I get it. Yeah, I mean, he's a 5-tool guy. Those guys don't come along very often. It's why it's silly that he ever sits, but whatever. Joseph, the league was crazy. We should have won the series against the number 1 seed. We won a series against the 2 seed, got swept by the 5 seed. True. TJ Finley back in. Yeah, is there more news today about TJ Finley? I mean, we talked about that a couple weeks ago when we went back in the portal. Is there something this morning that I missed? Let's see, Michael Thacker. Morning, Matt. Learned about Joe Lawrence today. Cool story. Didn't realize Marucci was from Louisiana. Yeah, man. I'm curious what brought that up. By the way, Joe's an awesome guy. I think the world of him. His son is on Catholic High's baseball team. And Mark, I believe, is committed to play baseball at Southern Miss. You'll be good to know. Dude's 6'6". He's a monster. So Joe was the best player in Louisiana. Played professionally for the Blue Jays. And when his baseball career ended, came back to LSU, played football for Nick Saban, was a defensive back. And is truly like an all-around awesome dude. Like, funny story about Joe Lawrence. So he and I ended up on a podcast together years ago. And I don't know how it came up, but the Randy Johnson pitch from spring training where he hit the bird. Do you know what I'm talking about? Randy Johnson threw a pitch and a bird flew in front of it. And I think many of you probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I would think everybody who's a sports fan has seen that by this point. Joe had no idea what I was talking about. He had never seen that. Never heard of it, never seen it. Like somehow it fell into a black hole of his awareness. And so I showed it to him. And now, like to this day, like on the anniversary of that, whenever it pops up, he'll text me the video. He's like, I know because of you. So it's the anniversary of my whatever. So it's funny. But Joe's an awesome guy. Yeah, so Joe was one of the original founders of Marucci with Jack Marucci. And because when Joe was playing football at LSU, he was in the training room with Jack Marucci, and they talk about baseball. Naturally, Joe hadn't played professional baseball. And so Jack was making bats in his, in his shed in his backyard. And then, of course, they brought in Kurt Ainsworth as well. And so Kurt and Joe and Jack, founded Marucci, and kaboom. There you go, Thomas. We're getting there, man. Charlie. Good question, Mark. Nobody's thought to ask me that one yet. Yeah, we talked about it a bit ago, Charlie, as we started. I mean, it's never okay to lose for LSU to lose to a home regional to an in-state opponent. It's just not. You just have more resources than all of those programs, and you should never lose to them. So, I mean, I think Scott's got a real tough decision to make here about Beth's future. And I hate that because, y'all know I've told y'all before, I think the world of her. I want her to win championships at LSU and stay here forever. But I get it also. I mean, this is 2 times in 3 years now you've lost a home regional to an in-state school where you've lost twice. That they lost 2 years ago, they lost twice to ULL, now they lost twice to Southeastern. Like, it's just, do you retain her because of the recruiting class and the 2 freshmen she's got on this team? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'll keep asking around. I did last night when they lost, I started making some of those calls like, Because 2 years ago with the regional loss to ULL, I heard a lot of that. And I didn't get a good answer, but there was a little bit of a 50-50 type response. So if I hear more, I'll certainly let y'all know. You don't want T-Bob up on those roofs, eh? He'll fall through. Miracle, yeah, a lot of people have. No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, just kind of talked about it there. Good to see Milam out of the slump. Yes, a 2 for 4 day for Milam yesterday, and Jared Jones as well. Again, another part of Hunt's Around the Horn over Louisiana Sports. Let me drop that in the y'all go read this. I'm gonna drop this in the chat. But Hunt did a really good job, y'all, and it's validating because all of you are asking about the same things. He talks about Anderson and Ianson, some context on their dominance, Cowan struggles, Shores and Newt's emergence, and then Jones and Milam kind of getting out of their slumps. Oh, Curiel too. That's the other one. Curiel, like, it's funny how we focus so much on that. It's because of my yelling about it, but the Jake Brown stuff. But Milam and Curiel both hit the ball hard this weekend. Milam was in even 200 in SEC play. He had a 2 for 4 day. Curiel was 4 for his last 33 over 8 games. It was 121. And he had 3 hits on Saturday, which is great to see. So, I mean, everybody's going to go through a 4 for 33 stretch. Like everybody, it's going to happen to everybody at some point in baseball. But good to see they might be breaking out of here. This is a great point. It's a great point. I don't think you would ever or should ever make a coaching decision specifically on one recruiting class or one recruit. I don't disagree with you. Kevin, after Anderson and Ianson, how strong do you rate our pitching for when we get to Omaha? I think that's what'll be our biggest problem. Yeah, Kevin, I think sometimes as fans, you know the saying, it's hard to see the forest through the trees. Hey, welcome to Sesame Street. Goodish way. Erica? Hey, babe? Hey, babe? Did you start his backpack? Okay, thank you. Oh, so Kevin. Can't see the forest of the trees. How much college baseball, aside from LSU, have you watched this year? Not a critical question, just a fair question. Because I think sometimes you look at your shortcomings and assume you're the only one. Not saying you, Kevin, individually. I mean, like, plural you. That you're the only one with the shortcomings. Truthfully, LSU's 1-2 punch of Anderson Ianson is probably the best 1-2 in America. Like, you could make a case, okay, like Liam Doyle at Tennessee. Okay, well, Doyle and Anderson went toe-to-toe for 7 innings. Like, there's not much gap between those two guys. But, I mean, LSU, Anderson, Ianson, 1-2, I'd put against anybody. And then LSU's got 8 guys that come out of the bullpen throwing 95 or better. I mean, you've got plenty of arm talent back there. And it's really about, like I've said, early in the year when we were flipping out about walks and all that sort of stuff, said, look, you're not going to use 15 guys. The season is an evolution. You've heard me say that before. A baseball season is an evolution. Like you're going to identify who you like. There was a point this year where Tanner Reeves and Braswell were platooning at third. That's completely stopped now. Braswell is your everyday third baseman. You were platooning at DH. That's stopped now. Ethan Fry is your DH. You're still platooning in right, which I don't like, but Jay continues to do it because he wants to give Josh Pearson playing time, even though Jake Brown's a better player and should play every day. You've identified a lot of these things, right? But same with the pitching. So you've condensed your pitching. I think Anderson, Ianson, Cowan, Evans, Shores, Newt. That's 6 for you right there. And you've still got Primo, Rizzi, Williams, guys who you feel like you can give the ball to at a spot and get something out of them. I think you've got plenty. Hard for me to think Woodward pays a $1.3 million buyout for the coach and staff of a non-revenue sport. Obviously, whatever it would cost to hire a new staff. Maybe. I mean, there was a financial component of it, but you could also argue the flip side. How much does it cost you an opportunity cost by not making a change? There's an argument to both sides of it. And a lot of times you'll fundraise for those buyouts, but it's do you want to go knock on doors to fundraise for a buyout? And Beth liked, which makes it even more difficult. Michael, random YouTube video. I forgot what we were talking about. Sorry. Hey, Brian, good morning from Macon, Georgia. Disappointed in Beth Torina. Carl, defended your take about Jake Brown and X yesterday. Well, Carl, that's just a smart thing to do because I'm right. I've been right all along. All of the detractors have been pretty quiet here of late. Who are you starting game 1 of the regional? What I would do is not what Jay's going to do because Jay's going to start Cade Anderson. That's just what he's going to do. I mean, he started Paul Skeens. In one of the most reckless college baseball decisions literally ever, Jay Johnson started Paul Skeens in a 1-4 matchup in a regional against a Tulane team that was a sub 500 Tulane team that only made the regional because they upset their way through their conference tournament and earned a regional bid. You could legitimately make an argument that Tulane team was the worst team ever to make a regional. And Jay started Paul Skeens against him. He's going to start Cade Anderson. It doesn't matter what I would do. He's going to stay Anderson, Ianson, Evans, Shores, whatever. Like, that's what he's going to do. I would probably start Jaden Newt and do it like a midweek game. Newt, Shores, whoever else after to follow to piece it together. Have Anderson for the marble game and then Ianson to close it for you. That's what I would do. That is not what Jay's going to do. He is going to treat it like a weekend series. Jason, Unlex Scene. Okay. Scone, I got you, bro. Caleb, how much did Moscona tear up writing that goodbye to T-Bob? I'm not really a tearful guy. I'm not the guy that, I'm not saying it's right or wrong or whatever. I don't cry. Probably should emote more, but no. Yes. I know, sorry. Oh, it was a few hours ago. Sorry. Anyway, Jeff Duncan tweeted about Aaron Rodgers and the Saints. So apparently, like, no interest from either side. Okay. I may need to go write that for LouisianaSports.net. Okay, let's see. Mark, would a young high school football get a better shot at making college football 12-team playoff at Tulane, Boise, or Coastal because their schedule's a weaker path easier? No, Mark, because there's fewer spots available. There's only one G5 spot available. So no, you'd have to pick the right place like that. Marucci sold 570. I think Marucci's actually has been sold several times. Yeah, here you go. Marucci sold to Fox Factory Holding Corp for $572 million in 23. Previously, the company had been acquired by Compass Diversified Holdings in 2020. I knew they had multiple exits. That one was for $200 million in 2020. So they've had pieces of the company acquired twice for over $700 million. So yes, Jack and Joe and Kurt are really, really, really rich. Congrats to them. It's amazing. I'm pumped for them. Hey, Scott, good morning. Mark, Musso, new sidekick. You mean for whiskey and wine? Again, dude, I haven't thought about it at all. Hopefully Jokic and the Nuggets beat OKC in Game 7. That would be cool about Westbrook. Yeah. Cool. All right. I need to Charlie hated too. Good coach. Some element missing you. Ever seen a college baseball coach switch to softball? Not that I've seen. Softball and baseball are just two very different sports, man. I know you said the Starkey thing, but that's signed an extension last season till 28. Not sure Woodward would pull the trigger. I'd have to look at the contract. Gunner checking in from security team at church this morning. Okay, good to see you, Gunner. Mark, do you think the Saints at 10-1 to win the NFC South is a good value bet? I do not, Mark. I mean, if you want to burn your money, you can, but they're not going to win the division. Even in a bad division, man. They're old and not talented and don't have a quarterback. It's Milton Burrell. Drunk Vigo. Hard to see the big picture. Yes. Devin, good morning. A little late. Disappointing way to end the softball season. Team was way too talented to go out like that. All right, I may have to get going, y'all. My apologies. Golf South, what up? Getting ready for my youngest son's first birthday party. Fantastic, dude. Happy birthday to 1 year old, man. Happy birthday to your son. Hope y'all have a great day celebrating. That's awesome, man. A lot of stuff going on today, man. St. Joe's, I mentioned earlier, St. Joe's graduation is today. My niece, Reese, is graduating today from St. Joe's, which is awesome. Hunt Palmer, their baby is being baptized this morning. So great, beautiful, joyful day in the Palmer household as well. So a lot of good stuff today, man. Zach, let's see. My new neighbor is best friends with Tanner Reeves' dad. Asked him to pass along Jay to put Brown and Sharpie for me. I'm sure that's going to be received really well. Brennan, great day to sit by the pool. Matt, did you cry when the Saints won the Super Bowl? No. I don't think I've ever cried at a sporting event. Well, I'll tell you what. I do remember after my last game ever at Catholic when we lost to Evangel in the semifinals. Held together pretty good, and then like after Coach talked to us, she did the team prayer, and then like saw my family and stuff. I think that's kind of whenever I broke a little bit because you realize it's over. You know, it's like your whole lifetime of work, and then just because I wasn't playing anymore, so it was just done. I think that reality hit me. AA Ron will look funny in the black and gold. How many times does JJ have to hit himself in the head with a hammer before he realizes it hurts? Why waste your best arm on a team you could beat in a midweek arm? This is what he's going to do. Can't wait for fall. Just beat Clemson, please. Go to old school whiskey and wine with Condon. I don't know if I can get Condon to come out that late to a cigar bar. I'm reading your comments. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Well, I got you. Do you cry at funerals? I have it 1, 2. I have it 2. Let's see. I know I'm late. Hunt was the one doubting we were complete lock for top 8 tweeted last night. I flatly disagree with him. Very kind, Miracle. I will certainly tell her that. All right, I got to get going because I got to go publish this story for Louisiana Sports Tonight about AA Ron. 2 more. What percent LSU makes to Omaha? 75%. Queen. I got it. Okay. Perfect, man. Devin, have a great day. Good to see you there, man. DJ Reb, Derek Carr, reach out to other teams to gauge interest. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's get out of here. Y'all have an awesome day. Again, as always, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. All of our sponsors linked in the description on YouTube. They're tagged on Facebook. Please check out Locked on LSU. Please check out LouisianaSports.net. Y'all have